limitations in doing qualitative research. And in doing so, I attempt to give an insight into the intricate process of designing qualitative research studies, understanding what are the processes involved in capturing the multifaceted realities of individuals and communities. Beginning with social research. Research, as we all know, is a systematic and organized effort to investigate a specific problem which needs a solution. It contributes to the general body of knowledge which is either existing or new. Social research is a systematic method of exploring, analyzing, and conceptualizing social life to extend, correct, or verify knowledge, whether it helps in the construction of a theory. What is a research design? How do we understand? So it's basically a blueprint or a strategy or a plan which outlines how the researcher tries to undertake the scientific study. It encompasses the framework within which the research is conducted, which includes certain key procedures like the methods, what are the processes, what are the techniques which are used to collect and analyze the data. Coming to how do we design a research? First of all, we formulate a topic with specific objectives, what we are looking at. Next, we look at the methodology which we are following, the techniques, the methods, and the sample which is used, how we are collecting the data, the analysis of that data, and then we are presenting the data, and finally the conclusion. There are certain key foundations of research design. These foundations actually include the fundamental principles which guide the planning, implementation, and interpretation of research studies. The first key foundation is having clear research goals and objectives, which is required to achieve through this study, to either to explore a new phenomena or to test a hypothesis or describing a situation to solve a practical problem. Second key foundation is the theoretical framework, which provides the base or the conceptual foundation for the research by guiding the formulation of research questions, hypotheses, and the interpretation of the findings. Third, very importantly, is the methodological rigor, which is marked by using appropriate methods and techniques to ensure the reliability, the validity, and the generalizability of the findings. Next important key foundation is the ethical considerations, which must be upheld throughout the research process to protect the rights and well-being. For example, obtaining informed consent, ensuring confidentiality, minimizing harm, and adhering to the professional codes of conduct. And finally is the systematic planning, which involves including the development of the research plan or the protocol, which outlines the steps to be taken, the resources which are required, and the timeline for completion. From this, we come to three major approaches which we use when it comes to designing a research. It can be quantitative, it can be qualitative, or it can be a mixed methods research. What is this classification based on? This is based on nature of data, approaches to data analysis. Nature of data, I would like to just mention, for example, in qualitative research, we deal with non-numerical objects, like it can be words, it can be images. In case of quantitative research, we deal with specifically the numerical data using a statistical method, and whereas in mixed methods, we combine the both. Approaches to data analysis, for example, in qualitative research, we use interpretive and inductive approach, about which I will be talking about. In quantitative research, we mainly use statistical methods to analyze the data, and mixed methods involves integrating both the approaches. Underlying philosophical assumptions, like the qualitative research is grounded in interpretivist or constructivist paradigm, which talks about the subjective nature of the social reality and importance of understanding the meaning and the context. Whereas in quantitative research, it is mainly based on positivist paradigm, which talks about objectivity, which talks about measurement and search for universal laws or patterns. And finally, the research questions or the objectives. For example, in qualitative research, we look at more complex phenomena. We understand social processes. We generate theories. In quantitative research, we test hypotheses. We establish causal relationships. And in mixed, we emphasize on capitalizing the strengths of both. So depending on the research questions and objectives, we classify them. From this, I come to qualitative research. Now, qualitative research is the systematic process of planning and executing a study which aims to explore and understand complex phenomena through in-depth examination of context, their perspectives and meanings. And this research allows the researchers to collect detailed descriptive information about the participants. Certain key characteristics of this kind of a research design include, firstly, exploratory research. Because in qualitative research, we begin with open-ended approach, where we don't go with some assumptions or biasness. We allow for discovery of new insights and patterns. Secondly, we go for contextual understanding, where it emphasizes understanding phenomena within their social, cultural, and historical contexts, as these factors shape individuals' experiences. Thirdly, we talk about subjectivity and reflexivity. Qualitative researchers acknowledge the influence of their own perspectives and biases and often engage in reflexivity in order to critically examine their role in shaping the research process and outcomes. We go for small and purposive sampling. Instead of large representative samples, which is used mainly in quantitative research, qualitative research involves choosing participants who can provide rich and diverse information relevant to research question. In-depth data collection. The researchers here spend considerable time with the participants. They collect detailed, nuanced data, often through open-ended interviews, observations, or analysis of texts. Iterative data analysis. It involves coding, categorizing, interpreting the data to identify patterns, themes, and relationships, and this process is often iterative, with researchers revisiting and refining their analysis as new insights emerge. There are certain foundations of qualitative inquiry, as in where does qualitative research comes from. So it can be traced back to several key historical and theoretical developments within the field of social science, specifically sociology. First is Max Weber's concept of Verstehen. Verstehen is a German term for the term understanding. It's a German word for understanding. So Verstehen talks about emphasizing the importance of understanding social phenomena from the perspective of the actors involved, recognizing their subjective meanings and interpretations which individuals attach to their actions and interactions. So the qualitative researchers engage in interpretive analysis, which seeks to uncover or understand patterns, themes, and underlying meanings in data through techniques like thematic analysis, content analysis, narrative analysis. Secondly, symbolic interactionism. Now, developed by sociologists like George Herbert Mead and Herbert Blumer, this school of thought emphasizes the importance of symbols and meanings in shaping human behavior and social interaction. It says that we interpret and give meaning to symbols based on our interaction with others and within social contexts. So qualitative researchers aims to explore this symbolic meaning and interpretations which we attach to our experiences, actions, and interactions. Thirdly is ethnomethodology. Ethnomethodology talks about the methods and the practices through which individuals create and maintain social order in our everyday life. It is concerned with ethnomethods or everyday implicit rules which are so taken for granted, but yet they try to make a sense of the social world. In qualitative research design, this ethnomethodology provides very valuable insights and perspective which influences various aspects of the research process. Next is phenomenology. Now, phenomenology is a philosophical approach which focuses on understanding the lived experiences of individuals and subjective meanings which they attach to their experiences. Phenomenology tries to understand meanings and essences of phenomena as they're experienced and interpreted by individuals. And qualitative research prompts the researchers to search for the underlying meanings and essences of the participants' experiences. There are certain types of qualitative research design that one can choose according to what research objective one is looking at. First is phenomenological research. It tries to, as I just mentioned previously as well, it tries to understand the meaning of human experiences related to a particular phenomena. Here they explore the participants' subjective experiences through in-depth interviews or observations. Ethnographic research involves studying and understanding the cultures, beliefs, and practices and social also document analysis is also made. Grounded theory is an approach where researchers aim to develop theories or conceptual frameworks grounded in the data. Through a constant comparison and analysis of collected data, researchers identify the categories, concepts, and relationships to generate a theory which explains the phenomenon under investigation. Case study involves an in-depth examination of a single individual or a group or organization or specific context. Narrative research focuses on understanding and analyzing stories and personal narratives shared by individuals. Here, the researchers try to understand the structure, the content, the context of these narratives to gain insights as to how they're constructing the meanings and make a sense of their experience. Participatory action research at PAR, it's a collaborative approach which involves researchers working closely with participants or communities to identify and address social issues or problems. And constructivist or interpretive research emphasizes the importance of understanding multiple subjective realities and interpretations of social phenomena. Researchers explore the different meanings and perspectives attributed to a phenomenon. Certain major research methods which are used when we do qualitative research is, number one, interviews, which is the primary method. The interviews, they can be structured, they can be semi-structured, they can be unstructured in order to gather rich and detailed information from the participants. It is very useful to explore the participants' perspectives, experiences, beliefs, and attitudes. Secondly is observation. Observation is not merely observation, but systematically watching and recording participants' behavior in natural or controlled setting. The researchers may engage in participant observation where they are actively participating in the setting being studied, or non-participant observation where they remain as an observer. And the observations provide very insightful information about social interactions, behavior, and contextual factors. Document analysis. Here, researchers analyze documents like diaries, letters, official records, organizational documents to gain insight into cultural practices, historical events, or social phenomena. And this document analysis helps to understand the context, beliefs, and values of communities or individuals. Focus groups basically is bringing together many small group of participants to discuss a specific topic or a research question. A moderator is there who guides the discussion, participants who can share their opinions, experiences, and perceptions in their group setting. Focus groups are useful for exploring and understanding group dynamics, collective perspectives, and thus generating interactive discussion. Case studies, as I already mentioned, involves an in-depth investigation of a single case, for example, individual or a group or an organization or a community. It is useful to study complex and unique phenomena within their real-world context. Content analysis. Content analysis is used to systematically analyze and interpret the content of various forms of communication like text, audio, video, images, and social media posts. It involves identifying and quantifying specific characteristics, themes, patterns, and meanings within the data to gain insights into the underlying messages, representations, or discourses. Visual methods, for example, photography, video recordings, drawings can be used to complement other qualitative research methods. They can provide additional insights, perspectives, and documentation of participants' experiences and environments. How do we ensure rigor and trustworthiness in qualitative research? Whenever we talk about this, it involves establishing the credibility, transferability, dependability, and confirmability of the research findings. Two issues are important here: issue of validity and reliability. Validity refers to the degree to which findings accurately reflect the phenomenon being studied. Although in qualitative research, traditionally validity is not that prioritized in the way in the quantitative research, yet there are certain types of validity which the researchers use. Internal validity, external validity, construct validity, content validity. Of these four, I would specifically like to mention about internal validity, because internal validity is one of the strengths of qualitative research, as it is based on determining whether the findings of the study are accurate or not. And how do we go about ensuring internal validity in the study? Number one is thick description. We provide a detailed and rich description of the research context, the participants, and data collection procedures. And this increases the transparency in the research process. We go for triangulation, where we use multiple sources of data like methods and perspectives to corroborate the findings. Reflexivity is used, where we reflect on the researcher's role, their biases, their assumptions throughout the research process. Reflexivity involves critically examining how the researcher's background, experiences, and perspectives may influence data collection, analysis, and interpretation, and taking steps to mitigate the potential biases. And fourthly, very importantly, disconfirming the negative evidence, which means to actively seek out and consider contradictory or disconfirming evidence which challenges initial interpretations. Exploring negative cases helps to prevent premature closure and ensures that alternative explanations are adequately explored. Coming to reliability, reliability refers to, in qualitative research, is the consistency and stability of the findings, ensuring that results are replicable and dependable. While reliability is often associated with quantitative research, where measurements are expected to be consistent and repeatable, it is also relevant in qualitative research to ensure the trustworthiness and credibility of the findings. We focus on two types of reliability: inter-coder reliability and intra-coder reliability. Inter-coder reliability is the degree to which a degree of agreement between different coders or analysts who independently code or analyze the same qualitative data. Techniques like training the coders, using coding manuals or guidelines, and conducting reliability checks can enhance the inter-coder reliability. Intra-coder reliability assesses the consistency of coding or analysis performed by the same researcher over time. Maintaining detailed coding notes, revisiting the coding decisions, and engaging in reflexivity can help in enhancing the intra-coder reliability. Feedback, seeking feedback from the participants of the research to verify the accuracy of the interpretations and the conclusion, asking for their input or validation to ensure that their perspectives are accurately represented, is a way to ensure reliability. Consistency and dependability. Maintaining consistency and dependability in data collection, analysis, and interpretation procedures can help in maintaining reliability. It is important to document all the steps of the research process, including data collection techniques, coding procedures, analytical decisions, to ensure transparency and reproducibility. Coming to the conclusion, the key takeaways from my presentation: qualitative research design serves as a very powerful tool for delving into the intricacies of human experiences, allowing researchers to capture nuances that quantitative methods may overlook. And in this presentation, my attempt is to advocate for a deeper appreciation of the transformative potential of qualitative research in generating rich or contextually embedded knowledge. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And I think that was one complete package in qualitative research method, research design, starting with the different types of qualitative research design and bringing it to the sampling, coding, each and everything. Really, the qualitative research design will always consider it as a powerful tool to make the research with the natural phenomenon, with the behavior, with the life of the people. So may I request each and everyone, please give the big hand to Dr. Esha for such an incredible presentation in this platform. And now we will move forward for discussion